Yeah.
Welcome to Blazing Baseball, episode number 83, where we blaze through today's baseball topics. We are Yankees and Astros fans. So, happened breaking news to about an hour ago is Michael Brantley is placed on IL with shoulder injury issue,
Bye.
according to FoxSports.com.
5-time All-Star. Right shoulder. Did he get an x-ray?
Doesn't say.
He's batting .288. He's got 5 homers in 64 games. He's 35 years old. He's an incredible left-handed batter. So they got Chazzy McCormick.
Mm-hmm.
Chazzy Fizz is coming back to replace him.
Coming back up.
Okay, coming back up from Sugarland.
Yep.
All right, but we don't know how many games he's going to be out for. Hopefully it's only 10 games and he's back in it. Got to have him. Got to have Brantley to win the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And in other news, we have more news on the Senate Judiciary hearing, and we'll go over that. And then also more information on this fight. And
the brawl. The brawl between L.A. and Seattle Mariners. All right.
Yep. And then, so we had Cleveland. We have a doubleheader. And we had the Twins at Guardians, and Cleveland won the first one 3-2 with the one going to Henches. Sorry if I mispronounced any names on this podcast. And the loss to Pagan and the save to Clace. And then they'll play later today with the Twins Winder, who is 2-2, versus the Guardians Pilkington, who is 1-0. And then we have the Pirates at Nats later today, with the Pirates Quintana, who is 1-4, versus the Nats Corbin, who is 3-10. And then we have the Braves at Phillies, with the Braves Morton, who is 4-3, versus the Phillies Wheeler, who is 6-4. And then we have the A's at Yankees.
All right.
With the A's Montez, who's 3-7, versus the Yankees Sears, who is 2-0. And then we have the Boston Bum Sox versus the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, two bad teams. Playing each other. Hope they both lose.
Boston Wacha, who is 6-1, versus Toronto Stripling, who is 4-2. And then we have the Astros at Mets, with the Astros Valdez, who is 7-3, versus the Mets Carrasco, who is 8-3. And then we have the Brewers at Rays, with the Brewers Woodruff, who is 5-3, versus the Rays Baz, who is 0-1. And then we have the Marlins at Cards, with the Marlins Garrett, who is 1-2, versus the Cards Hudson, who is 5-4. And then we have the Reds at Cubs, with the Reds Castillo, who is 2-4, versus the Cubs Thompson, who is 7-2. And then we have the Rangers at Royals, with the Rangers Gray, who is 3-3, versus the Royals Hesley, who is 1-3. And then we have the Dodgers at Rockies, with the Dodgers Kershaw, who is 5-1, versus the Rockies Freeland, who is 3-5. And then we have the White Sox and Angels, with the White Sox Cueto, who is 1-4, versus the Angels Silseth, who is 1-2. And then we have the Padres at D-backs, with the Padres Mania, who is 3-3, versus the D-backs Gallen, who is 4-2. And then we have the Tigers at Giants, with the Tigers Skubal, who is 5-5, versus the Giants Rodon, who is 6-4. And then we have the Orioles at Marlins, with the Orioles Krummer, who is 2-1, versus the Mariners Ray, who is 6-6.
All right, so those last 4 games are late games. So there are 15 games. Oh, one is finished already because this was a doubleheader. So there's 15 games tonight. A lot of baseball ahead. Okay. And last night, we had a power outage here in Austin, so I couldn't watch the Yankee game. But the Yankees beat the A's 9-5 in New York City, the Bronx. Gonzalez had a double. Donaldson had a double. And Trevino all had doubles. Rizzo and Stanton both hit home runs. So the Yankees had 8 hits and 9 runs because they had those 2 home runs. The A's came up with 5 runs on 6 hits. The winning pitcher for the Yankees was Abreu. He's 1-0. He went 2 1/3 innings. His ERA is 2.76. He had 4 strikeouts and no hits. So he really shut him down. The losing pitcher was Puck, and he is 1-1 for the season. He gave up 3 runs, and his ERA is 2.73. At Yankee Stadium last night, there were 33,168 fans yelling for the New York Yankees to win their 54th game. And they're 54-20 on the season, first place in the AL East. The A's dropped back to last place in the AL West. They're 25-50. And they're going to have it again tonight. Who's chucking?
6:05 Central Time at Yankee Stadium. We have up for the A's Frankie Montes, who's a right-handed pitcher who is 3-7 with a 3.21 ERA and 92 strikeouts. And then on the mound for the Yanks is J.P. Sears, who's a left-handed pitcher who is 2-0 with a 0.0 ERA and 7 strikeouts.
And we have the Oakland lineup.
Yeah, hit the refresh first.
All right. See if we can get the Yankees in there. We'll need a couple of Yankee batters, like 9 of them. There they are.
So up first for the A's, we have Allen at second base batting .220, and then Laureano at right field batting .239, and then Bethancourt at first base batting .242, and then Murphy at catcher batting .219, and then Piscotty at DH batting .225, and then Andrus at shortstop batting .226, and then Pinder at left field batting .234, and then Noisy at third base batting .229, and then Pache at center field batting .163. And then up first for the Yanks is LeMahieu at second base, batting .261. And then Judge at DH, batting .293. And then Rizzo at first base, batting .222. And then Donaldson at third base, batting .228. And then Trevino at catcher, batting .270. And then Hicks at center field, batting .219. And then Kiner Falefa at shortstop, batting .266. And then Gonzalez at left field, batting .250. And then Gallo at right field, batting .169.
Joey!
Yep. And yep.
That's the Yankers.
Judge has 57 RBIs.
Ooh, that's good.
Most.
Yeah, and the most homers too.
Second with 50.
Yeah. Lots of RBIs right there. And tonight the Astros are going to play. Who they playing tonight, Mr. Colby?
At 6:10 in Citi Field in Flushing, New York, we have Framber Valdez on the mound for the Astros, and he is a left-handed pitcher, and he is 7-3 with a 2.9 ERA and 75 strikeouts. And then on the mound for the Mets is Carlos Carrasco, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 8-3 with a 4.42 ERA and 77 strikeouts. And then up first for the Astros is Altuve at second base, batting .275, and then Pena at shortstop, batting .277, and then Alvarez at DH, batting .312, and then Bregman at third base, batting .234, and then Tucker at right field, batting .254, and then Gurriel at first base, batting .223, and then Chazzy Fizz McCormick batting at left field is batting .219, and then Myers at center field, batting .200, and then Maldonado at catcher, batting .147, and then up first for the Yanks.
What?
I'm sorry, for the Mets.
Yeah.
Is Nimmo at center field batting .278, and then Marte at right field batting .276, and then Lindor at shortstop batting .246, and then Alonso at first base batting .281, and then Davis at DH is batting .243, and then Escobar is at third base and he's batting .225, and then Canna at left field batting .275, and then McNeil at second base batting .327, and then McCann at catcher batting .188.
All right. Well, that Pete Alonso, he's got 22 home runs and 69 RBIs, so he's slamming a bunch of RBIs too. For the Astros, Alvarez has 54 RBIs and 22 home runs, but he's batting .312. He's got a high batting average. All right. How do standings look today?
In the AL East, the Yanks are in first, 12 games, over Boston. In the AL Central, the Twins are 2 games over the Guardians. In the AL West, the Astros are 10 games over the Rangers. In the NL East, the Mets are 5 games over the Braves. In the NL Central, the Brewers are half a game over the Cards. And in the NL West, the Dodgers are 1.5 games over the Padres.
The Padres. And there was some pretty interesting story that came out about the brawl that was between the Angels and the Mariners.
Yep. So it looks like, according to Fox News by Ryan Gatos, and it says in all, a combined 12 members of the Angels and the Mariners received suspensions and undisclosed fines.
And fines. Okay, so they fined them. They kicked out 12 people. You got to give the list. How many guys on the Angels?
And then it says the Angels members who were suspended include interim manager Phil Nevin for 10 games.
10 games.
Which makes sense
Yep.
because he had the premeditation to make the pitcher be the opener, and being a player on purpose, which started the fight. So.
He's not even the real manager; he's the interim manager. They already fired their manager. Oh my god! I mean, you got to be kidding me!
Before we even started shooting live, you were saying you think they're gonna fire him?
I don't. Well, I don't think he's gonna get hired as the.
Get hired,
yeah, he's not gonna get hired as the full-time manager. I don't think after that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Bush League. That wasn't right. Mm-mm. He basically told the pitcher to hit the guy, and the pitcher even admitted it during the brawl to the other guy. We watched the replay over and over, and it was bad.
Yes, there's a new John Boy breakdown on it.
Yep,
and it is highly recommended.
Yeah, highly recommended.
To good depth into it, and there's a lot of editing that went into it.
Yep, it was fun to watch. It was not a good event though. I mean, it was unfortunate, and then the Mariners also got suspended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then it says Phil Nevin is 10 games, and then third baseman Anthony Rendon 5 games, pitcher Anthony Wance 5 games, assistant pitching coach Don Cheedy 5 games, pitcher Ryan Tepera 3 games. Rays Iglesias 2 games, bench coach Ray Montgomery 2 games, interpreter Manny Del 2 games.
The interpreter got suspended because he was in the fight. Oh my god, these guys are idiots.
Catching coach Bill Haslam 1 game.
Okay, and how about the Mariners?
Rendon will begin a suspension when he is off the injured list.
Right, yeah.
He is out of the season with a wrist injury.
Oh, boy.
For now, he is banned from the Angels bench for 7 games.
Oh, my God.
Sorry. And then, excuse me. And then it says the Mariners members who were suspended include outfielder Jesse Winker, 7 games, shortstop J.P. Crawford, 5 games, and outfielder Julio Rodriguez 2 games.
So there was 9 players from the Angels that got suspended, and 3 players, coaches and players, and then 3 players from the Mariners. So it looks to me like the Angels were at fault starting at the top because the fish rots at the head. So the manager started that fight, and he got the most suspension. He got 10 games. So I think he deserved it, and I'm glad he got it because it was really dumb. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And we were going to talk about the baseball monopoly, huh?
Yep. So there's an article that came out today on ESPN.com by June Lee. It says, title is Senate Judiciary Committee questions legality of Major League Baseball's antitrust exemption. And then it says the Senate Judiciary Committee is questioning the legality of Major League Baseball's antitrust exemption, seeking a letter on Tuesday addressed to advocates for minor leaguers, asking about its effect on the lives of players. So then there's the letter is a bipartisan effort led by Senators Dick Durbin, who is a Democrat in Illinois, and Chuck Grassley, a Republican in Iowa, Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat in Connecticut, and Mike Lee, a Republican in Utah. The letter by the Judiciary Committee marks the first substantial step taken by the federal government to question the legality of MLB's antitrust exemption. And they really hit home on, or the article basically summing it up is just saying that when the MLB just cut off,
They downsized.
And just decided to cut off these minor leaguers.
The minor league franchises. They put them out of business.
They put them out of business.
Sure they did.
They're saying that there wasn't a free market for them to go to. And they basically just ended their business.
If they lost their jobs, they lost their fans, they were done. Those cities lost their baseball franchise. So Major League Baseball definitely made a mistake when they did that.
Yeah.
They should have did something better than that.
Yeah, it was also
because people want to play baseball and people want to go to games and root for their fans. You went to the Express game.
Yep.
We've been to AA games. We went to single A games. We went to see the Hooks down in Corpus Christi for the Astros. And so it's fun. Fans love to go to single, AA, and AAA baseball games. Mm-hmm. It's a great venue for families to go to. And Major League Baseball needs to get that fixed. And by the way, that antitrust is from both the Republican side and the Democrat side. Both of them want to get this squared away because it's fair for the minor league franchises and the minor league players and the minor league fans.
Yeah, and also it was also saying that it's also unfair for the players because then they can't go to play any other places after they sign a contract with them because it says they can't play anywhere else for 7 years once they sign that contract.
Yeah, locked in. Yeah. There really isn't any other league right now, but that's all part of being a monopoly. When you're the only show in town, that is a monopoly. So they got them the exemption, and so they're it.
Yeah, and
so now they gotta change it.
Yeah, and we already mentioned this before, but they were also mentioning again that why should they be exempt when other sports leagues aren't?
That's correct.
Exempt.
Yep, and the football, you see that with all different kinds of football leagues popping up and trying to compete. Yeah, against the NFL. So it's the same thing. People should have a chance to play baseball, and fans need to be able to go to a minor league game and see a game that's much less expensive to go to. And I thought going to the Dell Diamond was more fun than going to the Yankee Stadium because they had all the fun rides for the kids when you were little. Yeah, so it's a really good venue for families.
They still have the rides there.
And they're still there. There you go. Yeah, you went. Okay. Well, there you have it. Baseball is going to get straightened out. I think the Congress is doing the right thing by trying to get them to open up their markets and allow the minor league teams to flourish.
Mm-hmm. And maybe have another big league maybe also.
Something else.
Compete with
in the future.
MLB.
It would be fair.
Baseball.
Yep.
Any other baseball topics you want to go over today?
Got 15 games tonight. So there's a lot going on. We'll be watching the Yankees and we'll be watching the Astros too.
Yep. And we'll catch you all tomorrow here on Blazing Baseball. Blazing through tomorrow's baseball topics. Peace.
Blazing Baseball. Peace out.